So when we look at, okay, we got this Darwinistic way of just like survival of the fittest, and then the fittest of this capitalist society is that you gotta be two parents, like you gotta have the two kids, the white picket fence, like that isn't actually partnership. That's isolation. That's individualism. And when we're looking at these thoughts and ideas, everyone that I have talked to over the past couple years with this pandemic have talked about how deeply painful it's been to not be able to commune with each other, not being able to be in partnership with each other, not being able to fucking exist because you don't want to you don't want to endanger someone else's health, right? And we all are experiencing this mental trauma simultaneously with tools that are Darwinistic in nature and social Darwinism in terms of like worry about yourself, put your mask on.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody else, they just going, oh well, if they want to wear a mask, they can wear a mask and all of this stuff. And I know people got their own thoughts about that. I'm not getting into that, but I just wanted to be stated that happier lives, because everyone is supposed to be chasing happiness. At least me, I chase joy, but I'm just saying that the central part is being happy. And so if if we're doing that in isolation, that's why the grind is so hard. That's why it's so tiring. We're not supposed to do these things alone. Like, and that was another part of where I'm reading in the Revolutionary Suicide too, that like it was years of time of Huey Newton on the streets, at school, uh trying to organize with different groups over time. It took a lot of time of organizing and then getting with a critical mass of enough like-minded people to now live together, commune with each other, eat together, um, shoot, turn up, drink together, you know what I'm saying, listen to music together. And this became the core group of people that ended up founding the Black Panther Party. You know what I'm saying? And that came from that time of communal living. If Huey Newton lived in complete isolation with all of these ideas, they would have never came to fruition because they would have just been thoughts and ideas.
Mm-hmm.
And he even states that like there was a long time where the they didn't call it the Black Panther Party yet, but there was a long period of time where they were just trying to figure it out, just trying to piece it together, just trying to build it out. And no, there were no actions that came from it. And they had that internal thought, like, are we just those people that just theorize and don't do nothing? And one of the things that came from that was just like, okay, you do have to commune for that analysis. If you do that individually, it doesn't lead to action because there's no role for you. You can't be everything. Everybody can't be everything and try to do things alone. That's not really what's sustained. And that was the essential part to the Black Panther Party that ended up being such an antithesis and such a visceral reaction by the great liberal state of California that passed all these laws to put them down on a state level, because they saw that free breakfast program. And it just now happened in the year 2022. So nearly 50, 60 years after the Black Panther Party was founded, that they finally are letting kids eat free at school.
Wild. Wild.
So just
Like
what
just
so what are your thoughts about that just in general?
yeah, I mean, right now my thought is just like the fact that the eating free thing is just like, because why are we asking these 7-year-olds to find money to eat lunch when they already have to be at school for 8 hours or else they're in trouble? Like, come on, like there's so many layers to
And
that.
they
But
mama and they mama and daddy gonna be in trouble too if they not in school.
yeah,
Everybody,
like
everybody is coerced into this being
it's
at lunch
institutional.
today.
It's
Yes.
institutional. It's wild. But I really want to touch on like just talking about like diversity of political leadership and just why you need different skill sets, why you need different partnerships in order to live happier, fulfill, sustain lives. Because we literally cannot exist alone. Like, and I'll probably get into this more next episode when we kind of talk about like Coxeye and whatnot. But just literally thinking of anything, you need multiple people with multiple skill sets. Like, I know there's this big, like, oh, like I want to be an entrepreneur, do it myself. I don't need nobody. Like, nah, you need somebody. Cause even let's create this scenario where you literally the only person running your business. You needed the people to help you get there. So you really didn't do it by yourself. Like, oh, I was staying up reading these books. Who wrote the books? Who did the research
Exactly.
for the books that you was reading? I was watching these YouTube videos. Yes, somebody else created that YouTube video. Like, there's so much that you need from other people. Even when you think about, like, we talked a little bit about like activism in school and whatnot, you have the people who are more vocal. You have the people who are more detail oriented, because sometimes the people who are most vocal, maybe they ain't thinking about the details. They didn't think about how they're gonna get back from the protest, but you need the person who's a little bit more logic thinking. Not that the people vocal are more logical, but or less logical,
I get
but
what
you
you're
need
saying.
people to come up with the details and whatnot. Some people are shitty artists. You need somebody to come up with a good sign. Like, you need somebody to come up with the flyer for the protest. You need somebody to publicize these things. There's so many different facets that come into just existing in general. And we see that with the animals. Like, all these different animals have roles within their group, their society. Even like you look at a wolf pack, like, yes, you have the quote unquote like alpha male, alpha female within the wolf pack. You have other people that, or other wolves that have different roles within the wolf pack. Even the younglings, like in a lot of these animal groups, like they need to like learn how to become that next leader of their own like group, their own pack, their own pride. So yeah, it's just really important that we get out of this individualistic mindset. And I think the pandemic has helped people to realize just how interconnected we are as a society and just how important it is to be able to connect with people. But literally, we cannot physically, biologically, we cannot grow without the influence of people. Like, we wouldn't know language, we wouldn't be able to learn, we wouldn't be able to think properly. Like, there's just so much that comes into how we grow as people. So I think just overall, just really want to validate and empower like anybody listening to this, like whatever you're doing, like there's a reason that you're doing it and it's needed. Like, whether you just like
Yes.
drawing pictures every day, like that's needed. Like, we need art. If you are a person who's writing, like we need that. We need the people who are the advisors in higher education. We need the people who are helping people get to higher education. All these different roles, should they be paid more? Absolutely.
Right.
But each of these roles are so important, no matter what the pay scale is, no matter how much recognition you get for it. All these things truly make up a diverse society that is able to grow and thrive.
Yeah.